Hi there, I just wanted to show you a quick, easy project for putting together your very own made-by-hand book from 7gypsies. Now, if you haven't had a chance to watch the basics for using the Binderie Punch video, I suggest you watch that video first, just so you have some of the basics for how to measure and guide your holes before you try to do one of the projects. So I'm just going to use today some of the fun products that 7gypsies has released just for the Binderie Punch. We're going to be using the Mulan journal pack, and this pack is awesome. It comes with tab dividers, it comes with cardstock journaling sheets, it comes with little journaling card inserts, it also comes with pockets, envelopes, and a sheet of stickers. So we're just going to use those, and I'm going to show you how to bind those into a book using the Binderie Punch. So to start, I'm just going to have a cover made from 8x8 bookboard, and I want to punch my holes. I'm going to do 5 of them all the way down here. So to do that, I just put my bookboard into the punch. I'm going to use the second guideline down on the little measuring tool, and I'm going to punch my holes. And now when I put my project in, I want to make sure that I take it in all the way, and I make sure it's touching the back. Now be really careful, because these punches can be sensitive, so if you put your hand on top when you're doing that, you can accidentally trigger the punch. So it's a good idea to get in the habit of keeping your hand off of the top of the punch while you're working. So I put that in and I push the button, and then I'm just going to feed this so that the top hole that was punched is going to just go and pop right onto the little guide arm button, okay? Now I want to click that guide arm out once. So I hear it click, push the button, and then click it out again. I hear it click, push the button, and I've got all my holes punched for my cover. And you can see they're beautiful. They're perfectly spaced, which never happens for someone like me that hates to measure, so this is a fantastic tool for that. Okay, now to do some inserts for that, I'm going to take, and I want to do these little tab dividers that come with the journaling kit. And you can see these are really a substantial weight of paper. They are a cardstock weight, and I'm going to do, looks like 5 of them at one time. And I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the cover. Just going to put it in here. Make sure I push it all the way back, have it lined up with my guideline. And then I'm going to push my button. Okay, and it's going to go through all of those at one time. Then I'm going to feed it onto my little button here, my guide arm. And what's helpful about this is when I'm looking at the punch, I can see that these 2 little arrows are going to show me where the holes are going to be punched, and then this is a good one to line up with your current hole so that you know you're getting the right spacing here. So I'm just going to do that, pop it out, punch it again. Now I've got all of my tabs punched and ready to add to my journal, which already here I've got my back cover punched, and I've got the binding rings popped open, ready for me to feed my project onto. So I'm just going to do that. What I like about these binding rings is they do come in several different colors. They come in multiple sizes. I can do a small, medium, or large. These are the medium size. And you kind of pop them and then pull them open, and then use them as your binding ring. And what's convenient about that, as opposed to using maybe a wire binding, is that these can be popped open and closed as many times as I need them to if I want to add stuff to my book later. This is a lot more convenient than trying to open and close my wire bindings. So I like these binding rings for that reason. Okay, I'm also going to just do my cardstock insert sheets here. And you can see here, again, I've got, probably 7 of them here. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Super easy, using my little guide. I'm going to slide it up, feed it onto the arm. It's already clicked out once. Push the button, click it out again, push the button, and those are done as well. Okay, now let's say I wanted to use some of these little journaling cards, and because they are not the same size, there's a couple ways that I can figure out how to punch these holes. I can simply just use the guideline if I want it to be up at the top of my project, punch my hole there, and then feed it here. Okay. And you can see I've got my holes punched that I could just feed it right onto the project that way. Or if I wanted to do a horizontal card instead of the vertical, same idea. But let's say I wanted it to be right in the middle of the book instead of at the bottom or up at the top. I'm going to use one of my pre-punch pages just as a guide to help me figure out where to punch the holes. So what I do is just lay it on top of the thing I'm going to be punching here, and I feed that in and punch. My first hole is going to go here, and then I want to slide it down so that this hole is lined up with the arrow. Should I go punch that? And punch it there, and now I have two holes there that are going to fit right over the top here, and are going to go into my project that way. So you can see, I also, if I wanted to do a transparency, same idea. I could either start it up at the top, or if I want to start it on one of the center holes, instead I can just do that by lining this up here, punching a hole, and then using my arm to feed and punch the other holes that I would need to make it fit onto the project. I don't know if you can see that. You can see I've got my holes punched there. Okay, so now simply just putting the book together. Again, what's nice is I can change the order of things if I want by opening and closing my binding rings. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to start throwing these all in here on these binding rings. Do all the rest of these together. Okay, I can put my little journaling card in there. It's going to fit in there perfectly. This little journaling card can go on this way. There. If I want to do a transparency, I can put my transparency in as well. And then my cover goes on. So you can see these now just snap closed. And voila, I've got a fabulous start to my book. Now I can fill this with my own personal photos that I can punch holes into. I can fill it with journaling. I can add things as I want to go. So if I want to keep this an ongoing journal, I can just keep adding things as I want to. I can punch a hole in the cover and add a knot to it. There are so many things I can do, and you can see that took me just a couple minutes to get that started. So have a great time. Again, we love the Binderie Punch, and we know you will too. Can't wait to see what you start creating.